Joining us now is Congresswoman Mikie Sherrill. She's the Democratic nominee for governor in the great state of New Jersey. Congresswoman Sherrill, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for having me.
Let me ask if I got any of that the wrong way around in how I described it. I know the National Personnel Records Center and the Sherrill campaign seem to be saying this was all just a regrettable mistake. I have to ask if there's elements of this that I either didn't just explain or that are different in terms of how you see it.
Sure. So what happened was the Trump administration illegally released my unredacted military personnel records to an ally of the Sherrill campaign, who then shopped it around to press, even despite being, in his own words, shocked and disgusted when he saw that it contained things like my Social Security number, my parents' addresses, my 80-year-old parents' addresses. So this was not unknown that this was information that should not have been in the public. And if there was any question when they shopped it to the press, the journalist who got it told them this should not be out here. In fact, he wrote a whole article about it and warned them that this was not information. And yet they continued to push this information out and have not given it back, have not ceased using it. So it really, what they're putting out is just not true. And then furthermore, when we look at how this happened, when we worked with the journalist who was presented with this information and went back to the archivist to see how this happened, there's no mistake that was made here. This was intentional. And I'll tell you, if you speak to the professional archivists that were there, remember Trump fired them, and now Marco Rubio is in charge of the archives, not a professional archivist. You'll hear that it takes months, if not over a year, to get access because they're so behind. And yet what happened here was there was a request for my data a day before my primary, and the gentleman from the ally of the Sherrill campaign was told, no, you can't have this. You need to meet certain wickets to get it. And then 2 days after the primary that I won, he found, and I quote, a real helpful person at the archives office to get that information to them. Now, here's what should have happened. The archives should have requested a signature of mine. They didn't have it. They should have had my Social Security number. The way they got that was that a technician in the archives went into the VA database, which they had access to as a federal agency. We would not have access to that, to get my Social Security number, to then pull my files, which they then gave to this ally of the Sherrill campaign. Then they should have told the Navy that they had done so. They never did that. And so there's really no doubt in my mind that this was fully intentional from the Trump administration to the Sherrill campaign to attempt to do this. And they've continued now to go after my family, my husband's service, my kids, in a completely inappropriate way. So I just have to say to the New Jersey people, if he's doing this to me, a sitting member of Congress and a veteran, imagine what he'll do with your information.
Do you feel like you're running against Jack Sherrill, the Republican candidate, but also running against the federal government? I mean, the federal government has this, and the U.S. military has this information because we don't have a choice about whether or not they have it. We have to trust that they will safeguard it in a way that's both responsible and legal. It seems to me like you're up against something that is more than your average political dirty trick.
Yeah, this is pretty low. And that's why I really just have to say thank you to the veterans from across this country, from Korea to Vietnam to the global war on terror, veterans from across this country who have reached out in solidarity with me, because this is beyond the pale. Because as veterans, many of us have incredibly high security clearances. I myself had the highest security clearance in the military. And the amount of information our nation has when they do that, they interview your friends and your neighbors, and they go through your medical records and those of your family and friends. It just, to think that you have this, that the government has this information and could use it against you, it is just completely unacceptable to veterans. And so I have to tell people out there, thank you so much for your support. And I'm just committing to people in New Jersey, to veterans across this country. I'm running for governor because I can take this. Jack Sherrill can come after me. Donald Trump can come after me. but I am going to be governor, so you don't have to put up with this. So when Trump comes after New Jerseyans and their private data, their Social Security numbers, their driver's license, I was just talking to Governor Josh Shapiro earlier today. He has told Trump no. And I will tell Trump no when he comes after people in my state, so they don't have to go through this.
Congresswoman Mikie Sherrill, Democratic nominee for New Jersey governor. Thank you very much for helping us cover this scandal this evening. Thanks for helping us understand it.
Thank you.
All right, more news ahead tonight. Stay with us.